Hello, I'm Emma Fernandez.
And I'm Nicole Eldridge, and this is Not Your Dad's Podcast, where we take a modern look at the dad-aged world of sports.
Thanks for tuning in. Today on Not Your Dad's Podcast, spring is in the air. Spring training started February 22nd in the sunny states of Florida and Arizona. Here in the Cactus League, the Arizona native Diamondbacks are gearing up for their 2017 season. Last preseason, the Diamondbacks made a huge splash in the pool with their new Evolution jerseys, the acquisition of former rival Zach Greinke, and the overhyped but oh so disappointing Shelby Miller trade. And none of the three lived up to the hype, so I guess in true baseball fashion, that's 3 strikes and they're out. This season is expected to be less of a letdown, as seen in the recently calm preseason. The Diamondbacks again proving that if you set your standards low, it's harder to disappoint.
I agree with what you're saying about a calm preseason, but the Diamondbacks have made a few changes that I think will prove to be key this year. For example, the Diamondbacks non-tendered Wellington Castillo. They traded Peter O'Brien to the Kansas City Royals. They lost Tuffy Gozowich to the Atlanta Braves off of waivers, and Chris Herman is barely coming off an injury. They have seemingly left themselves without a catcher, but a few days after losing all their catchers, the Diamondbacks signed Jeff Mathis, a veteran catcher. This will hopefully provide the young Diamondback team with some leadership and experience. And now there hasn't been much news recently in the offseason, but let's not forget the house cleaning the Diamondbacks went through at the beginning of this offseason.
You're right! How could I forget about the Diamondbacks firing GM Dave Stewart and manager Chip Hale? How could I forget about them subsequently hiring Mike Hazen and Torey Lovullo? News has been quiet lately in the Valley, but last October, the Diamondbacks were making quite the rattle.
Speaking of new coaches, the Diamondbacks have also hired a new bench coach, Ron Gardenhire, and third base coach, Tony Perez-Chica.
That is right. However, on a more serious note, on February 14th, the Diamondbacks tweeted out that new bench coach Ron Gardenhire was diagnosed with prostate cancer.
You know, I did hear about that. What sad news after an exciting fresh start for him here in Arizona.
Well, the cancer was discovered in his required coach's physical for this new position.
That's true. He was fired from the Minnesota Twins in 2014 after 13 seasons and 6 divisional titles. So who knows when it would have been discovered if not for the new coaching job.
And he couldn't be in a more supportive place. D-backs CEO Derek Hall and owner Ken Kendrick are both survivors of prostate cancer. And according to AZ Central, both Hall and Kendrick met with Gardenhire to show their support and share their experience.
Yeah, the entire Arizona Diamondback organization and community has been pouring out in support for Gardy. According to USA Today, Diamondbacks manager Torey Lovullo called Gardenhire quote-unquote family and said that D-back Nation will be supporting him as such.
Gardenhire is definitely feeling the support. The D-backs also tweeted a picture on the 14th with a quote from Gardy. He said, "That's what always happens in baseball. It's a family, and we take care of each other." I think I can speak for everyone here at Not Your Dad's Podcast when I say that we're rooting for him, and he is in our prayers. Do we know if he's expected to make a full recovery?
Yes, he is expected to miss about 3 to 6 weeks starting in the middle of April after having surgery to remove his prostate. He is expected to make a full recovery and be back on the field in no time.
That's great to hear.
Not your dad.
Moving on, the Diamondbacks started their preseason by scrimmaging Grand Canyon University on February 22nd.
The Diamondbacks beat the Antelopes 9-1 in their first preseason game. They put up 6 hits against GCU, but had 6 walks in the 7-inning scrimmage.
Okay, now don't get me wrong, I know it's only a scrimmage, but 6 hits against a college team is nothing to brag about.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. That's a pretty weak attempt by the offense. However, they did get walked a bunch, and it was only a 7-inning game. Either way, they managed to get 9 runs up on the board, so it's not a horrible start for the D-backs.
I mean, I totally understand that, but I still expected more from a professional team. This isn't A-ball. This is the big leagues, and they're scrimmaging a bunch of 20-year-olds.
I agree, but they probably weren't giving their all. Most players play their preseason and spring training games at about 80%. Maybe it's the hopeful D-backs fan in me, but I assume the game was more for fun than glory.
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
Not your dad.
So, Nicole, any bold predictions for the Diamondbacks this year?
No, I mean, not really. The National League West is basically a given, so I would say that the Diamondbacks don't really have a chance.
I get what you mean. The Los Angeles Dodgers and the San Francisco Giants are usually the only two teams in the race for the West.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That is not true. Last year, the Diamondbacks and San Diego Padres were in a tight-knit race for who gets second to last place in the division. Don't you remember the last game of their season? The Diamondbacks and Padres faced each other, and the winner got all the bragging rights. One game over last place in the NL West. It was a real nail-biter, I must say.
Oh my bad. How could I forget about that race? But even if the Giants fall off in the next couple of years, which could potentially happen, the Dodgers will still be a contender for years to come with their young, talented team, and even the Rockies are on the come up. So I agree that if something doesn't change soon, the Diamondbacks have no chance in the NL West, but a quote-unquote good season is relative. In the rebuilding stage that the Diamondbacks are going through, what does a good season look like for them?
Honestly, at this point, just getting over 500 would be a win for the Diamondbacks. Last season, they were 25 games under 500. So as far as your quote-unquote good season, I think the Diamondbacks need to win at least 25 more games than last year.
Well, there it is. You heard it here, folks. The Diamondbacks need to win 25 more games than last season to not be the disappointment of the league. So, Nicole, how do we get there?
Ding, ding, ding. That's your $1 million question.
Personally, I think the Diamondbacks need to create a culture of winning. They have gotten so complacent in recent years. They look like a bunch of 12-year-olds playing Little League for the fun of the game. And I get it. I respect passion and a love for the sport. I'm sure it is fun. But the Diamondbacks need to create a passion for winning and a love for success. In the end, it comes down to what are they doing out there? Are they there to sell tickets? Are they there to have a good time? Or are they there to win championships? Any way you figure it, they need to win games. Winning teams sell tickets, winning teams have fun, and winning teams win championships.
I couldn't agree more. So, kind of transitioning here, but you kind of mentioned it already. The Diamondbacks are not selling tickets. Recently, they have sued Maricopa County, claiming that the poor conditions at Chase Field are the reason so many fans stay home. So is it truly the poor conditions, or just a lack of any fan base at all?
Well, Chase Field is one of the newest ballparks in the league. I don't know what conditions they're talking about, but the field's in pretty good shape. The Diamondbacks can shift blame all they want, but no one's buying it.
Well, except the taxpayers, because they're the ones who will most likely end up paying for these so-called renovations if the Diamondbacks get their way.
Oh yeah, sounds like a great plan. You have fans who are upset because you can't win a game, so fix it by raising their taxes. Man, the D-backs should write a book on acquiring a fan base.
Oh yeah, definitely. That would be an instant bestseller.
Hot off the press. Extra, extra, read all about it. The Diamondbacks are a disappointment.
Not your dad.
Well, that's all we have for you today. This has been Not Your Dad's Podcast, where we talk about sports with a modern twist.
Yep, this isn't your dad yelling at the TV.
This is Not Your Dad Couch Talk Sports Show.
This is Not Your Dad's Podcast with Emma Fernandez and Nicole Eldridge.
Thanks for listening. Tune in next week.